Well, what to do for a video? So I thought I'll pick up a paperweight and I'll start messing about. Sure enough, I did that. It is a mess. But when you look at a fuchsia plant, it is a bit messy. It dingle-dangles all over the place. So, honestly, what does it matter? I picked up this Sharpie white waxy pencil and started drawing on the underside of the paperweight. It's always best to make sure that the glass is relatively clean, because otherwise these sort of waxy crayons don't want to stick very well. So it's best to wipe down the surface first with some alcohol or just soap and water. Now you can see I have turned over the paperweight and I am drawing on the front as well, or the top if you want to call it that. So what I'm doing is just some more dingly-dangly buds and maybe a couple of leaves, but keeping in mind what's going on in the background. You don't want something absolutely directly on top of, or the same size as something that's on the back. But you just want to give it that 3D when people will then look at it and go, oh wow. And they can't really work out what they're looking at to begin with. Unless you are a glass engraver or an artist, then you can usually pick it up. But somebody who's not will, in my experience, pick it up and go, wow, how did you put that inside the glass? And while it's all engraved only on the surface, it does give that illusion to someone who doesn't really know the craft. So here I have got a small green stone and I'm just flying over what I've drawn, and in some cases I am just adding something randomly anyway. And as you can see, the crayon wipes off quite easily. You use a little bit of water if you like, a little bit of elbow grease, you know what I mean, and it will come off. I was using a really nice soft cloth. You don't want to scratch the glass with a rough cloth. So now engraving on the underside, just roughly. Be a little bit careful when you do stalks and things like that, because if you are going to go over it again, because they need to be relatively delicate, you want to get those lines right in the first place. Sometimes you don't even have to go over them again if it's very, very fine. So there you are. You can see roughly what it looks like. Bearing in mind I am looking straight on and the camera is a little bit skew. And there I'm showing you, obviously, wear a mask because this is making a lot of dust. I'm fortunate enough to have a dust extractor. You can see it now flying up into the extractor, but I still have my mask on. This is a slightly larger green stone, working dry. I'm doing the leaves first, and I want the leaves to be more subtle. They are generally darker, so you don't need them to be as bright as the rest. And just roughly going around them, filling it in. I mean, really, you are just colouring in. But what I do like to do, of course, is when colouring in, colour in the direction of the flow of whatever it is you're filling in. And in this case, roughly the flow of where the veins of the leaves are going to be. And also, as you can see, there is a differentiation between each side of the leaf. Now I decided to do something that I don't usually do, and this stems right back to my days in Zimbabwe when I used to have to look after my burrs. Well, I still do, but I mean, to replace them was an absolute mission, and I had to send all the way to the UK in order to get more. So I would never use water with my stones. And so this green stone, I've decided to have a go with some water. And I've got to say, just like a diamond, it engraves easier, smoother, more consistently. And I could feel it with my thumb that it was actually a way better cut. But you know what? It does, in my opinion, wear down the stone faster. And so I swallowed hard and carried on with the rest of them. Here I am engraving on the upper surface, I think. Yes, up on the upper surface. So all the leaves on the upper surface I decided to do with water. So here I have a sort of a slightly larger diamond burr in the drill, and of course water. Much prefer that with diamond because it has the opposite effect. It's going to make the diamond last much, much longer and the cut much better. Now, I always find working on flat glass, for some reason I battle to show it up nicely for you guys. Of course, being wet, it doesn't show up very well. But there's a quick snapshot of the depth I'm doing these in. I'm going to be engraving quite deeply for the buds and the flowers. So here, where the two petals come down on either side, I've done them slightly shallower, and then I'm going much deeper with the one in the middle. Come back. There you go. And by going deeper, it looks like it is coming further out. So here's a bit of white tack, and you can see a little subtle change, a little bit more shape to it. So this one, I think I've only got the two petals showing in the front, so I've put this one slightly deeper so it appears closer to you than the other. I have sped this video up in most of the clips to 2.5 times normal speed. This drip feed system, just with water of course, is so old and still so efficient. It works incredibly well. As I've said many times before, it is a 2-way or a 3-way gang valve that they use in fish tanks, so you can get them from a pet shop or a hardware store. And if there are 3 outlets, I block up the one. Here we go. Here I'm just doing another little 3D picture for you. There we go. Anyway, so the drip feed system is from an empty milk bottle, nice and clean of course, with water in it, and I have suspended that above everything, above my work bench, with this tubing coming down from the 2-way gang valve. One bit of tubing going into the water and the other coming down, and it has a little tap on it so that you can regulate the flow, and a nice little flow of drops. Here I am working on the flowers. Again, same principle. The petals that are further back, I've engraved lighter, and then as they come further front, I am going quite a lot deeper, but deeper in the area where it's sort of bulbous, if you like. So in the middle of the petal. It's a little bit rough, still a lot rough, very rough at this point. But it's starting to come together. This is again one of those videos where a quick little scribble, not really sure where it's going to go, not really sure whether I'm going to add more to it at the end or not. And I do really like this kind of engraving where I can just let my hair flow, let it all hang out, and just do whatever comes to mind. I used to be more afraid of doing that in the past because in fact, I still, as you know, I don't like to doodle in case someone ever finds your piece of paper with some terrible little doodle drawings on. And by terrible, I mean really poor quality drawing, because I think that's what a doodle is. So I've always been a bit nervous about an unplanned engraving, but I think that something like this, you can keep working on it until it's right. And if it's really, really bad, smash it up. Or don't sign it. That's a good one. Don't sign it. Don't own up to it. Right, here we are. The 3D sort of effect is coming along nicely. This is a slightly cone-shaped, very, very tiny, very sharp little burr. Those are pretty. I've gone quite deep there, and they're really sparkly coming through, looking from the top of the paperweight. Now these little bits that hang down, I see that the bottom part is slightly thicker and then goes up to thinner at the top. So I should have actually used a normal tiny round ball burr. And I stuck to this cone, couldn't really see what was going on, and just hoped for the best. So, but it's okay. Right, now I've got a very small diamond burr, and I'm starting to neaten up all the edges, the points. Again, I'm sorry it's so dull. I've really zoomed in to try and let you see what I'm doing. I've got my super duper light on it, funny enough. But if I turn the light up too much, then it picks up my skin and makes that really bright, and then you still can't see what's going on. It's just the shape of the glass, really. And the fact that there's a lot of water sitting on the surface. So these little sort of petally, leafy petally bits that are coming out from the top of the fuchsia flower, I'm giving them a slight sort of edge to parts of them where it looks like it's slightly flipped up on the edges, and that's rather fun. You can just play with it. It's your flower after all. These are very, very gentle strokes, just to neaten the edge and blend it in as well. The water's very good at showing undulations on the glass, so you can see ridges quite clearly with the light coming down, I find anyway, and it's quite useful. Whereas if you're working dry, quite often you can't really see clearly how deep everything is and how it all relates. Right, here I have got my little green stone again, and I'm just going to slightly smooth out some areas. You'll notice, I think in this entire project I don't think I used a Dura white, interestingly. Anyway, so the little green stone just tones it down a little bit. And on the edges, you can see these little blobs at the top of the buds. I'm adding now. I had not drawn them on initially, and that doesn't matter. I know they pretty much look the same color, but in actual fact they're not as rough as the diamond work, and that means that they're going to polish a little bit easier. You'll notice that I keep turning it around to see what it looks like from the front, and this little petal that's coming towards us, well, it's not a petal, it's sort of like a leafy thing. I haven't quite done that right, so I have to play with that a little bit. This is a little brush that sometimes when you're working deep, the bits of glass and that gets stuck in it, and so all you need to do is give it a little scrape. Right, have a look at that. This is fun. This is fun when you're working on something underneath, like a paperweight, for example. Just turn it over and very carefully work from behind. Now, I have got an incredibly rough diamond burr, and I just wanted to really make these petals sort of bulbous. And so you can see the chippy bits happening as they happen. And of course I'll get rid of those. Don't panic. But it's great fun. You can see very, very easily what's going on and how it is building up. But tricky to add water to it, of course. Just so clearly I work dry. But you can have great fun with this sort of setup. I think I have mentioned before, you can actually get a clamp that will hold your drill. I've got one, I have never used it. You attach it to your bench and then you hold the glass against that, virtually like copper wheel engraving, where you hold the glass towards the lathe. Right here I'm back to the little green stone again, and I am starting to add a few more bits of sort of like a half tone, quarter tone less than it was. You can already see the difference in shading. It's not so much shading with these as well, it's actually color, because I'm also making it slightly darker where the color is darker, because there's a lot of red, and then sort of tones brighter out to an almost greeny white color in places. So you can't show that in engraving, so it has to be in grades of grey. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching everyone, and I will soon be coming up with part 2.